What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I'm getting Skull and Bones. This is a video years and years and years in the making, and honestly, if I did these further out when the game was going to come out, I may have done this 6-7 times, right? This game's been close to releasing multiple times, and it's just always been delayed. So we are and it's actually, a little scary because I don't really want to say it, right? We're finally here. It's gonna happen. And I guess the way that this game has gone, you can't say that fully until the game is out. But no, I mean, hey, even behind the scenes, right? Everything from Ubisoft, I mean, it really seems like the game is finally coming out February 16th, and actually, if you get, right, the deluxe or the highest edition, I believe you get to play it 3 days early. So technically, February 13th, there's going to be some people playing this game online, and you'll be able to see all the things about it. So let's talk about, why I'm getting it. This is a video series I do where I talk about whether I'm getting a game, not getting a game, or I'm somewhere in between. And I've been very clear for a while. I mean, my opinion has moved, I think, a little bit on this game since it first came out, but generally it has been the same. So why am I getting it? I want to see it through. That is as easy as it comes. This has been a game that the core concept has interested me since day one, right? I was around, like, this channel, it was very much in its infancy, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but this game was announced back at E3 of 2017, okay? I actually made a video for E3 2017 on this channel talking about this game, and is it the most covered game I've ever done? No, I've made hundreds of videos on Hogwarts or Gotham Knights, other things, but this is a game I've covered maybe 30, 40, 50 videos in the past 7 years, because it's just been around, and at its core, it's something I really love. Pirates. I've long said over and over on this channel, give me a Pirates of the Caribbean open world RPG. There was like the movie tie-in games. I actually think they're quite good, but we've never had, like, give me a Witcher game, Witcher 3, but you make it Pirates inspired. It doesn't have to be like Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones, but, do a Pirates thing. I know there's like Sea of Thieves and stuff, but I'm talking, I guess, a little bit more Witcher inspired, okay? That's what I want. That's what I've wanted for as long as I can remember. And again, at its core, and what we first saw in 2017, it's like, oh my dear God, Black Flag, the combat, the naval combat is really good. It's still good to this day. In fact, I played Black Flag, I believe, 1 year ago, last year, and it's not my favorite Assassin's Creed game, but the ship stuff is insanely good. And there's been the debate of, like, have they actually taken steps backwards? Is Skull and Bones actually worse than Black Flag from that perspective? Here's the thing. I don't know. I've never touched this game. There has been alphas up the yin-yang. There's been so many alphas and betas, so many opportunities, not just for, like, play testers, not just if you're, like, in the gaming industry and you get those, like, coveted, invites in your email, not just that, but just, like, anybody. You could have applied, and and I have actually applied before. The most recent beta, for whatever reason, I applied even though I wasn't going to play it. So that's been a thing for me. Why, Alex? Well, again, I want to see it through. I want to see the full version of this game because it's been such a journey to get here, and the game has had so many, really negative. There's been a lot of negativity, around this game, and I think a lot of it's deserved. But I want to see the full product. I don't want to play 18 betas, over the last 7 years. Yeah, I could give you definitely a look of what this game is going to be, but guess what? You can really get a look of this game or a basic idea just from, like, the basic pitch. This is Assassin's Creed Black Flag if it was just the ship stuff, and then they obviously much more live service-esque, playing with your friends and more, right? Like, that's the angle they took with it. That gives you, I think, enough of a starting point. Now, does it show the whole thing? Does it give you the whole picture? No, but I wanted the whole picture, so I wanted the full game. You could say, and why am I making this video? Why am I saying these things inside the video? Well, I'm sure there's going to be many people saying, Alec, you're wasting your money, wasting your time. Again, this is different from games that I think are more divisive. When I talk about Suicide Squad, the line's been drawn in the sand, right? You're either going to get the game, not get the game, and I think there's genuine excitement for that game and genuine hate for that game. A game like Skull and Bones, I think a lot of it's just non-interest, right? A lot of, can this game just come out already? A lot of this game probably would have been canceled if it wasn't for the contract that they had with the Singapore government, right, where the game kind of needed to come out. There's been so much of that I think with Skull and Bones, it's like there's a small group, I think, that are going to get this game and genuinely love it. And I really, to be fair and to be honest, though, I do not think this game is going to last. Like, this is a game that I think should have released years ago. And I don't know if it stands a chance nowadays. I really don't. Do I want it to be good? Yeah, at its core and at the end of the day, I actually do want this game to be good. I mean, that's maybe shocking, but honestly, I go into pretty much every game from a positive, like I want the games to be good. I don't really root for games. I know there are some people that do it, and you know what, honestly, doesn't really matter. They can do their own thing. I have respect for that. But for me, like, if I'm getting a game, I really do hope that it's enjoyable. So I want this game to work, but there are some things going against it. And, we mentioned the live service. I really, I'm not a fan of live service just in general, just like as a basis. But I give live service games chances. I've played many live service games. So, if they do it right, but look, with any of these kind of games, they need to have, like, the core of the game needs to be solid. So I know a lot of the conversation with this game has been what they don't have in the game, and that's fair. Like, the fact that there's not boarding, say, right? Like when you come right up on a ship and to be, say, an assassin, like, Black Flag, to swing over, to pull out a sword, pull out a pistol, and to have that kind of combat, they already had it. They literally had it with Black Flag, and that's why, like, it was such a good basis almost for, say, a Pirates open world RPG, because it kind of is. Black Flag is the closest we have to what I pitched you, a Witcher-like thing. That is the closest we have. So, they actually went backwards here, right? Like taking core fundamentals of what it's like to be a pirate, and they remove them, and they only have the ship stuff, and then they tie more live service elements into it. Again, like it's gonna go based off of if the ship combat is fun. Is it fun to sink other ships? This is going to be a game, I think, that's heavily reliant on community and friends. Like, I don't know this. I'm genuine. I do not know this for a fact, but, like, I'm probably going to play this game alone. I mean, maybe there's a few people in the community I'll play with here and there, but generally I'm a loner. I play a lot of games by myself, and I mainly play single-player games, but I feel like this is a game that you want a clan, you want a group, right? You want to have multiple pirates and multiple ships that are going around and destroying everything in the seven seas. And there is something cool about that. Like, again, at its core, there's something rather interesting, and I think a lot of people do want it. And I actually think, like, sales and maybe, like, the first month that this game is out, I think this game will do okay. Now, again, I don't think it's going to last. I don't think this game is going to be a game it's still around, let's say, and still has a massive amount of support, say 3 years from now. But I think the game, maybe at launch, can do pretty solid, unless the game is like complete garbage, right? Like if you see like 4 out of 10 review scores, like if this thing has like a 40 or 50 on Metacritic, not that I go based off scores, but you see that and you say, oh dear, like that's not a good sign. Then you watch it on Twitch, you watch it on YouTube, or you hear people's impressions and they say, yeah, like at its core it's okay, but there's just so much other messy stuff. And it's not like February's dead. February is packed with games. There's so many games in February. So I think there's a lot of factors that can hurt this game. And while it might do, good at launch or solid enough because of what it is, the core of what it is, I can't imagine it doing all that well, long term. What actually makes me the most upset, the rumors, and it, it's looking more and more like it's true. The team that made this, their next game is actually a Black Flag remake. They're actually so it's like you I guess you're moving up because you're doing like now the full package. So now you really will do the sword fighting and all that stuff. Again, can we spin this to eventually get a Pirates open world thing? Because if you do Skull and Bones, then you do Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, I mean, the next logical thing you would do is maybe make your own open world Pirates game. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I would think you would do. Now, will it get to that point? Maybe. Do we have to wait probably 6-7 years for that? Yeah, we definitely will. and it's such an untapped, I could go on forever about it. I think a Pirates open world thing, we get so many sci-fi games, we get so many like medieval kind of things. There's a lot of like popular genres or I guess themes in that way. Pirates is right there, and I think it really would work. And I was, canceled Pirates projects before in the past. I don't know why. Obviously, it costs a lot of money, but I think it would make so much more back. So there you go. This is a game that I was getting day one. Back 7 years ago, I would have told you that. Nowadays, still the same thing. Do I have confidence in it? Honestly, not really. Not really. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping it can be at least a little fun, or fun for, say, a week or two. To be real, it doesn't need to be a game for me personally, that lasts years. You know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out like 2.5 weeks after this. That gets my attention. You know what I mean? March has Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin. Like, there's games that are going to pull me away from any other game. Doesn't matter what the game is. I'm going to be, attracted or, attached to those things. So do I need Skull and Bones to last me 2 months? No, there's actually going to be multiple games that pull me away from Skull and Bones. Really, I guess to me, needs to just be a game that is fun enough in its gameplay loop that I feel comfortable going back to, every so often. Play it for a couple nights, leave it for a week and a half, come back, play it for a night, leave it for 3 weeks, come back, play it for a week. Now, that's how I play these kind of games, right? I'm not somebody who's going to, for these live service games, I'm not one that's going to put, 5,000 hours in and play it, 4 hours a day, every single day for a year and a half. Like that will never be me. I'm not going to change, to become that. I don't want that. And I don't need that from these games. So again, that's kind of where I'm coming from. Just be fun enough that I can play it here and there. I don't have to play it every day. Now, for the game's success, yes, it needs to be a game that you play every day. It should be a game that lasts for years, because that's what it's, designed to do. If it lasts for 4 months and they shut it all down, and they pull support, that would be considered, a failure. That's not what this game set out to do. But, at this point, I'm just honestly thankful, I guess, the game is coming out. That's actually a success in and of itself. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel. I will be covering this game. We'll do a full-on review. There'll be other, maybe like tips and tricks and all that jazz, but definitely a review is coming for this game, okay? Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next one.